Y'all always have all the questions about the mat that my sewing machine slides around on. It is the simplest thing ever. This is just 2 pieces of fabric, 14 inches by 18 inches, and I've got a piece of felt because I have a big roll, don't ask me why, but a massive roll of brown felt. So you can put felt, batting, flannel, probably fleece, whatever you want on the inside of it. It's just to give it a little bit of cushion because y'all see me slide mine around all the time, and I don't think it would slide as pretty if it didn't have some kind of cushion on the inside. So use whatever you want. I'm using some felt because y'all know I love to make something out of the scraps I have laying around. So I've got the felt first, and then I have my sewing machine front face up. And then here's the back of it. I was going to show you the back of this one, but it's different. But again, I'm using whatever scraps I have. So I'm going to take the back of it and lay it face down. So we have pretty side to pretty side, the front and the back of our pieces of fabric, and then felt, flannel, fleece, batting, whatever you've got on the bottom. So this is what we have. Now, we're going to sew all the way around, except we're going to leave a hole on one of the sides. Now, you can technically leave your hole anywhere you want to, but if you leave it in a corner, it just doesn't close up pretty. You don't get that nice, pretty corner, and sometimes I don't get the nice, pretty corner anyway, but to increase my chances, I try not to close a hole in the corner. So I'm gonna leave 2 marks right here, about, I don't know, 3 inches. So what I'm gonna do is start sewing here. I'm gonna sew all the way around, and when I get back to here, that's gonna be my reminder to stop. So I'm just gonna sew this with a straight stitch, a 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when I start and when I stop, because my grandma said so. This is a super easy, beginner-friendly project, and now we're creating this for underneath the sewing machine, but it is literally a placemat pattern. So you could do this same thing and make placemats instead of a sewing machine mat. Okay, so now we're gonna put our fingers in between our 2 pieces of fabric. You don't want to get in between your felt or flannel or whatever you've used, or you'll have it inside out. I have a piece of felt in my mouth. So put your fingers in there and turn it right side out. Now we're going to push out our corners, and y'all know we're going to do this with a chopstick, a handy dandy tool, or our fingers. We are not using our scissors. It's a terrible idea. Poke a hole in your project. You'll be crying because you have a hole. I'll be crying because you didn't listen to me. And then everybody's crying. I promise it's not worth it. Ask me how I know. So after we've got our corners pushed out, then we're gonna go and we're gonna iron it and then top stitch it. Look at this, easy. And then your sewing machine slides around just like mine. I'm gonna go iron mine, you go iron yours, I'll be right back. I'm back. Now, all we're gonna do is top stitch all the way around. There is a full written pattern for this on the website. It's under placemat, because that's all I did was made a placemat for my sewing machines to sit on, because I made this really snazzy sewing machine. I don't even remember what I called it. But it sat here, your machine sat on it, and it came down, and in the front there were pockets, and I didn't want that in my classroom because you know why? My students would use it exactly like it's intended, and then I'd never be able to find anything. Everything would be in the pockets all the time. So instead, I opted for these placemats, not knowing that it would be this handy for me to move this machine back and forth. So it's been super great for me. Now, we're gonna top stitch all the way around, and a top stitch is nothing fancy. It's just a straight stitch sewn a little closer to the edge, and when you top stitch, it will naturally close up the hole that you left to turn your project. Back stitching when you start and when you stop, because my grandma said so. The website is hometownquiltcompany.com, and there are lots of patterns there, both digital downloads and printed patterns that will be mailed to you. You get to choose. And that's it. I've given away all of my secrets. So I have these on my table in my classroom in my shop. I also have these on the tables at the retreat center for their sewing machines, because when you're working on something and you don't have a lot of space, then being able to slide your machine out of the way and look at what you have and then slide your machine back, I have found to be crazy handy. Only by accident. I did not intend to have this genius idea, but it is pretty genius. I hope you love it, and I can't wait to see the ones you make. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.